Hey everybody, and welcome to my brief overview of MIDAS Heritage, the UK Historical Environment Data Standard. In short, MIDAS Heritage is a cultural heritage data standard for big stuff. We're talking historically significant architecture, monuments, public parks, shipwrecks, cool, and archaeological sites, etc. MIDAS caters specifically to government organizations, archaeologists, heritage groups, and charities, and other UK heritage organizations. Which brings me to another point. MIDAS Heritage is UK specific. They are a data standard geared exclusively toward heritage assets in the United Kingdom. Also, you might be thinking, MIDAS is written in all caps, so it must be an acronym. I thought so too, but near as I can tell, it stands for absolutely nothing. There's, of course, King Midas. Everything he touched turned to gold, wasn't an especially great guy. Not sure why you'd name a data standard after him. Don't know. The first edition of MIDAS was titled A Manual and Data Standard for Monument Inventories. So maybe that's it. I don't know. Maybe the British don't take acronyms as seriously as I do. Either way, there you have it. No idea what MIDAS stands for, if it stands for anything. But continuing on, here we have a general overview of what MIDAS calls themes. I hesitate to draw too much of a comparison, but they're sort of like our Dublin core elements. MIDAS breaks these elements into main themes, which are heritage asset, activities, and information sources. And then supporting themes, and those would be spatial information, temporal information, and actor information. And we'll go into what all of these things mean in a minute, but you'll notice that within each theme are subcategories that MIDAS calls information groups, which essentially set the standard for what information should be included within each theme. There is a third, even deeper level of granularity within these information groups, referred to as units of information, which I may only touch on briefly because if we went down that rabbit hole, this would no longer be a 10-minute video. Some units of information are mandatory, some are optional, some can be repeated, some can't, and I'll take a deeper dive into that as we talk about each theme. So, first, let's talk about the main themes. The first theme is, unsurprisingly, the heritage asset. It's what we want to know about. I put that in quotes because the MIDAS Heritage Manual puts it in quotes too. I don't know. The heritage asset is the thing we're creating the record about. The object, the archaeological site, the shipwreck, cool, etc. Within the heritage asset theme, the information groups we find are area, monument, and artifact and ecofact. So let's start with area. The area information group is essentially a defined area of land that is significant to the historic environment and its management. So the tree below breaks the information group up into units of information. Sorry for the small font, but this is what I'm talking about when I said we would be here all day if I went into the granularity of this last data element. A lot of this stuff can be archaeological jargon, but anybody working in this field generally will know or grow to know the lingo. The next information group is monument. This is the thing itself. We're looking at built, buried, and underwater heritage of all dates and types. So this can also include buildings or archaeological remains that have been destroyed. Following monument, we have artifact and ecofact. These are essentially any portable items that can be recorded at a heritage site. Midas recommends recording at an item level only when the item is of significant historical value. Otherwise, recording on the collection level is fine. The example they include of something on the collection level would be, say, Roman pottery or vertebrate remains. After that, we get to the second main theme, and that is activities. This is the how we know what we know theme. It's going to document things that have happened to the heritage asset and things that will happen to it. That is, any plans for future work, right? This is the theme that provides context and meaning to the heritage asset. As you can see, there are a bunch of information groups under this theme. I'm not going to go into all of them. Again, there isn't enough time in the day, but they're all pretty straightforward. Investigative activity is essentially record of field work. Designation and protection addresses any legal protections to the heritage asset. Then heritage asset management activity refers to, preservation measures that would be taken. Casework and consultation records any decision making relevant to the heritage asset, often by like a governing body. And then research and analysis is similar to investigative activity, but with an eye to specialized work like, say, chemical analysis. And finally, historical event refers to any human or natural events that have occurred which provide any additional historical context to the heritage asset. And now we get to the third and final main theme, which is information sources. This theme is exactly what it sounds like. It's the recording of any reference material relevant to the heritage asset. We're talking bibliography references, online references, or references to primary archival materials. The information groups for this theme are, again, pretty straightforward, so for the sake of time, I won't dig too deep, but essentially they provide the user with links to other resources about the heritage asset. Management activity documentation provides the user with information specific to any factors affecting the condition and survival of the heritage asset. The remaining three themes are supporting themes. So we had our main themes, and now we have the supporting themes. And they include spatial information, which is the location of the subject of the heritage asset. Pretty straightforward. Temporal information, that's start and end dates of all periods or events connected to the heritage asset. Also really straightforward. And then actor information, which identifies key persons or organizations and their roles in relation to the heritage asset. Again, very straightforward. So, in this incredibly vast, granular metadata standard, is there any room left for improvement? Sure. In my research, a few things have stood out to me. First, MIDAS Heritage is a data standard that is exclusive to the UK, as I mentioned before. And while that isn't necessarily a critique, I think there could be some benefit to adopting a practice similar to this one on a larger scale. MIDAS also does not have any preferred or suggested controlled vocabularies or thesauri, so you're kind of left guessing. The standard also hasn't been updated since 2012, and in this world of hyper-evolving technology, 7 years is a long time to stay quiet. I would be really interested to see if this organization comes up with any updated materials in the next few years. We'll see. To be determined. So that's your Reader's Digest version of MIDAS Heritage. I hope you enjoyed it as much as I did. And now you know where to go to catalog shipwrecks in the UK. Cool.